back. I really apologize for what was going on. What I thought the charger wasn't working, but apparently what happens that I accidentally pull in the extension for the plugs, and that's why I have to do a part 2. So, but anyways, let's continue on. So like I said in part 1, there is so let's do this again. So the next thing is a large handbook for a how-to manual for turning Disney magic into extra sales. So the first page is basically a notes from T.E. Morris, the vice president for marketing Sears Merchandise Group at the time, which is which is sadly, Sears got bankrupt not a long time ago, but at least like a little bit ago. I remember when my Sears store locally closed back in it's a long time ago. But anyways, it's just a note on on telling them that it'll help them and promote the movie, and how like the overview of the marketing strategies and stuff. But yeah, but anyways, now let's move on to the strategies. So what they're talking about is the strategies on the promotion of the movie. So they're talking about they're gonna like turn this demand into an over $27 million in sales in just 6 weeks, which is it's just what their plan is. So they're talking about how they're gonna promote the movie with McDonald's, with Happy Meal toys, including the ornaments of Oliver and Dodger for Christmas. And the promotional strategy, they were briefly talking about how An American Tail had a tie-in with Sears, and how it increased the attendance for the movie, and it included like the plush toy for Fievel. It's really neat. Actually at the time, An American Tail was the most popular movie a couple years back. Yeah, most popular anime movie, sorry, and a couple years back. And then they also were talking about how they had their first tie-in film promotion with Disney, with Sears, which is Bambi, the re-release of Bambi in theaters. That was right before Bambi was released in home video for the first time, with the Walt Disney Classics release a year later, which is right after Oliver and Company came out. And how they're gonna invest over $30 million worth of money for creating consumer awareness. So yeah, it says the higher the awareness level, the higher the attendance, and they're trying to increase the attendance for Oliver and Company. Not that's because the previous movies, the Black Cauldron failed like really bad, because it was so dark for a children's movie that it was like the first Disney animated movie to be rated PG. And like the first week it was okay, but after a while the Black Cauldron like failed really badly. Like it dumped so badly in that it unfortunately almost marked the end of Disney Animation Studios. But luckily, The Great Mouse Detective 6 was enough that the animation studios actually saved it from almost being bankrupt. But anyways, next up, this is just an overview about the movie and how it features celebrities like Bette Midler, Billy Joel, Cheech Marin, Dom DeLuise. The voice cast for the characters like Dodger, Georgette, Tito, Fagin, and yeah, it's actually really neat. And then they're also talking about the Disney Challenge. They're talking about how they're gonna put Disney's marketing expertise to reach the public, building awareness of the film, and of course, for the premiere of November 18th in the United States. So in October, they have a couple. They're gonna do some promotions, like including the promotional displays in over 1,500 theaters. To be stated. Sorry, guys. And in November, they're gonna do even more, including major newspaper advertising and entertainment sections, major magazine advertisements, TV commercials from November 1st through November 23rd, talk show appearances, personal appearances across the country, which is the US, and of course, the release date, November 18th. And then next up, they're talking about the tie-in with McDonald's, which is probably one of the best things they ever did in terms of marketing, because I believe that the McDonald's tie-in really helped make the movie profitable compared to the previous movies at the time. Well, this was right before Mermaid, just remember that. And they said that the Happy Meals program is a national success story in itself, with over 80 million Happy Meals sold in 1988 through the over 7,000 McDonald's outlets nationwide. So what they included are, of course, the Dodger and the Oliver ornaments for, the holiday season, since Oliver and Company was going to be in theaters during the holiday season. And I believe it plays Christmas songs, of course. Frosty the Snowman and Jingle Bells. And it also includes finger puppets of Oliver, Georgette, Francis, and Dodger. And they're gonna do, and they were, of course, going to launch a 20-day national promotional campaign for McDonald's. So, it started November 18th, which is the date of when the movie comes out. Oops. Hold on, guys. Okay. And McDonald's, and they're gonna air in selected primetime slots, targeted day parts, and on Saturday morning children TV programming. And of course they have to say this: the impact will be enormous, to say the least. But anyways, let's move on, because I don't want to talk too much about it. So this is really cool, because they said that, oops, sorry guys. It says there are over 80 exclusive merchandise items developed for Oliver and Company, which is pretty cool, representing 14 different retail departments. And it also shows promotional pictures of Oliver and Company, specifically for only in Sears merchandising, like the children in the photos, the toddlers, the babies, and the preteens, and the younger and older children, of course, and they're also showing like the products in the Sears merchandising. These 4 photos. Oops. Why does it keep plugging it off, guys? Sorry about that. But anyways, these 4 photos are promotional stills for the Sears merchandising campaign that features kids, preteens, and toddlers. Inside of this handbook, there are actually real copies of the promotional stills that are actually you can actually hold, which is really cool. And then, of course, there's the product list. I already talked about the product list, so let's move on. And then they're talking about the first movie promotion they did, which is An American Tail, briefly, and how it is critical that they have to create a visual presentation for the merchandising of the movie and the marketability of the movie. So they're instructing it that it's dominant enough that it needs a presentation. And they are also talking about the signing for Oliver and Company to put in Sears, specific ones, and the pictures and the examples being shown as pictures. And of course, again, we have the artwork for what it's supposed to look like inside Sears for the promotion of Oliver and Company. And the floor plan of which, the merchandise is supposed to be in the main aisle, and it's supposed to sell Oliver and Company with excitement, like it said right here. And they're supposed to appear everywhere. So, of course, the more attendance it can help generate, the greater the consumer base it will be. And it's supposed to convey a powerful message. So it says that Sears. So according to this, Sears will launch. It says Sears launched an aggressive advertising campaign from November 15th through December 18th. Their advertising strategies are to define communication objectives. They want to develop a consumer awareness just to increase the sales and increase consumer awareness. So here's the advertising schedule for Oliver and Company, and the expected reaches and the peaks for the audiences, and the timings. So November credit billing envelope. It's supposed to be a premiere teaser for Oliver and Company. It's supposed to reach 22 million 22 million audiences, and there's a lot more too. But from what I see, the most that it was supposed to reach at the time is 43,400,000 audience members with national preprints and December core services, and plus national TV. You probably have seen TV spots that are 15 and 30-second TV spots when not just the 1988 original release of Oliver and Company, but also the 1996 re-release as well. But for the original 1988 release, they're supposed to promote them from December 7th through December 18th. And they also needed catalog advertising for Christmas wish books, WB Media, and of course special Oliver and Company catalog displayers, and what it's supposed to be stated 3,400 locations. Next up, there's details about what the marketability is going to do with Oliver and Company, including scholastic book sweepstakes and out-of-home working mothers daycare center posters, and of course I already talked about it. I probably have talked about it already in part 1. I don't know if I did, but if I did, then yeah. Of course you can receive a free commemorative theater poster with any of the Oliver and Company merchandise purchase, which is absolutely amazing. The poster is huge. I will show it to you guys later, like I said before. So basically, if you bought any Oliver and Company merchandise in Sears a long time ago, you can actually get a free theater poster that is exclusive from Sears, which is supposed to have a supply of them on or about approximately November 7th. And of course, other stuff too. like Oliver and Company shopping bags. And there's even more information about it. Oh, and yes, you can get gift certificates for McDonald's Happy Meal purchases with any of the Oliver and Company merchandise, $5 or more. So yeah, they're talking about like offers and coupons and stuff. And of course, again, they are also talking about the National Creative Display Contest for people specifically working at Sears to set up for the Oliver and Company merchandise in Sears. They already talked about it, and it's the same exact information as the smaller handbook, the promotional presentation supplement handbook. And they were also talking about putting everything to work and making sure you're prepared for the promotions of the movie. And yes, the promotional kit does include a calendar schedule, which I will show to you later. And look at that. Let's see what's inside. And yes, yes, there are promotional stills for, the Sears merchandise stuff with the kids in it, and also the preteens possibly, and the toddlers. So here's the first one, and then second one, third one, and of course the cutest one, the fourth one. Let me put them back. And then there is a promotional guidelines, because this is strict about like how it's supposed to appear, how it's not. For example, of course, of course, there's a lot of different guidelines, like Disney copyright notice must appear on any items that contains Disney art, obviously, because it has to be authentic, or else you can get in trouble. Or else it's not authentic Disney material. Only artwork previously approved by Disney and supplied to you by Sears National Headquarters may be used in any materials utilized in your Oliver promotions, of course, because, it has to be authentic, or it has to make sure that it represents the movie as a brand for, the real Disney, not like the fake Disney. The Oliver and Company characters are the only characters that may appear, or any promotional items related to Oliver. This includes Winnie the Pooh. Mixing character product, however, is permissible. That means it can be done with permission. Whenever referring to the movie directly, you should use either Walt Disney's Pictures Oliver and Company, or simply Disney's Oliver and Company. Never use Walt Disney's. You know why? Because because of course Walt Disney isn't alive anymore by that point, and he passed away back in 1966. So that's why they have to make sure that does not refer Walt Disney. And also, if you refer to the opening date, it should always say that it begins November 18th, only in movie theaters, because it's supposed to be only in movie theaters. But if by that point, by November 18th or later, that the movie actually is in the theaters, it has to say, you have to say, showing now, only in movie theaters. And then, in general, for Disney characters cannot hold, touch, point to, talk directly about, or in any way act as salespeople for a product. That's because it can cause controversy, and if they say, and that it has to make sure that it keeps the magic, it keeps the canyon for the movie. They're not supposed to be salespeople. They're supposed to be magical Disney characters. That is only to be in the movie itself, and that any spoilers can cause a problem. And you don't want them to act like salespeople, because, it they're just pretty strict about it. That's all I can say. Characters must be used in ways that fit their personalities and relationships with other characters. Characters should always behave in character. This is very important, especially in Disney parks, because there's specific rules on how that you have to make sure that you don't mention anything about other Disney worlds. If you're like a Disney character, for example, and you're from Oliver and Company, you have to like talk about like anything related to Oliver and Company or in the Oliver and Company universe. You cannot say anything outside of it because it ruins like the canyon and it makes it more fanyan. And also the reason why it should always fit the personalities is because you don't want to like make it all, you don't want to like realize that this is fake and this is real. For example, Dodger is, rebellious, but he can be tough, but he also cares about people. And for Georgette, she's like this snobby, she always acts so sassy. She isn't like very soft spoken like Oliver. She's the sassy one, and she basically acts, even though she wants her own ways, and that sometimes she does not like Tito in the movie, like especially like when Tito first falls in love and like punches Tito down to the stairs like in the middle of the movie. You want to make you have to make sure that they always act in characters. And I apologize, I'm not really good at if I'm explaining about the characters. I know a lot about the characters. It's just sometimes when you're autistic, it can be hard to explain. There's so much going on about the characters. But anyways, let's move on. The only premium... Oh, and I forgot one more. Characters should not be altered physically. Yes, this is so important because you want to make sure they always look the same and that they look obviously like in the movie itself. But anyways, number 6. The only premium merchandise items you may utilize in your promotions are those items developed in cooperation with Disney, such as Oliver. Yes, you have to make sure that they're the ones that are done with Disney itself, because if you're doing the fake ones, you can actually get in trouble, and that it can cause serious legal issues. The only approved in-store display materials for Oliver are those developed in cooperation with Disney by Sears Department 824. And last but not least, you may not utilize Disney-related music except as may be used as in-store videotape or PA announcement developed in cooperation with Disney by Sears National Headquarters. I would say that I understand that because Oliver and Company, the songs in the movie, outside the movie theater and like 35mm film prints, I think they are only played in commercials and in promotional material for like a little bit of a time. They have to make sure it doesn't really spoil or anything. And let's see. Next up, we have Oliver and Company artwork, and you can put like personal information down. I don't know. And then we have news from Sears. It's just basically all about the information about the movie and how it's gonna enjoy exclusive run for Sears. At the end, it does say that Oliver and Company opens at some 1,400 to 1,500 theaters. Actually, when it first came out, for some reason it came out in over 900, not like the usual 1,400, 1,500 theaters. But over time during the holiday season, like after The Land Before Time like really won over Oliver and Company, it did increase the theater amount from like over 900 to over like 1,200 to 1,300. That's about it. For some reason, as it stated, it's kind of strange how they did that. Obviously, I think they did. I don't know why it's only in over 900 theaters at the beginning. When it's supposed to be like 1,400 to 1,500, but I digress. I don't know. It's just very small amount. Then all of a sudden, just increases over, which is unusual. And information on the movie itself, like stuff like that, and licensed products and behind the scenes stuff, and some marketing communication activities like ideas for the marketability of the movie when you're in Sears. It says the premiere of Oliver and Company can be a day to remember for Sears employees and customers. The following are some suggestions to make the opening date, November 18th, a special one in your store. So basically, they're just ideas to entertain like the customers in Sears for during the promotion for Oliver and Company. So yeah, there's a lot of different ideas. I won't talk. Oh, I don't know. There's a lot about it. Media and theater promotions. There's offer certificates, of course, for a lot of things, and yeah, a lot of things. And work with local theaters. Ooh, movie passes to give out prizes. That's actually pretty cool. So yeah, that's just basically ideas to promote the movie in Sears and make the customers happy. And then also at the end they want you to write down a brief description of your Oliver promotion, which include any photos of the display or event, and send in for future consideration in a company publication. So you just write down like Oliver promotion, photos, and any future consideration and personal information, and of course the address for to send to. And last but not least, the in-store PA announcements. They're just basically for people that are working in Sears, and they're gonna use the microphone or something to like announce about what's happening. For example, attention shoppers, if you haven't seen it yet, make plans to take the entire family to see Disney Pictures' all-new full-length animated movie, Oliver and Company, now showing at theaters everywhere. While you're here, stop in our kids store and see the display of special Oliver and Company merchandise now showing only at Sears. That's just an example for announcements. But anyways, that is it for this handbook. So let's put some stuff away. I'm gonna put it in order. It might take a little while, but I apologize. There will be more. There's actually more than that. That's not it for now. There's also the calendar. So, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. This is some extremely rare stuff, guys. And if you like it, I'm glad you like it. And I apologize. And the reason why I disabled chat is because it's supposed to be an informational video. I don't want to like answer questions and stuff like that. I want this to be special. And of course, so one of the last things I'm gonna show you guys is the sorry guys, I'm gonna stand up. I've been sitting for a long time. So I'm gonna show you the calendar schedule. So here is the promotional schedule and the advertising calendar schedule. So there's a lot of stuff. So let's do the main events. Oliver and Company merchandise. So on October 23rd, Oliver and Company merchandise lands in store. It begins on. So Disney promotion begins October 1st, 1988. and then there's other information. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna look through it, and if you want to pause it like after I'm done with the live stream, you can, just to see like what was going on each day. So I'm not gonna read them all, but I am going to read like the most important ones and the main ones. So here it is. Schedule employee training announcement meeting, show some merchandise, play video how to. October 31st, special Oliver and Company signing package ships. Review final plans for Oliver and Company boutique. November 1st, Disney national TV spots began run through November 23rd. Have you received your special signing? If not, contact your regional visual merchandiser. Schedule in-store PA announcements. Check on delivery of gift wrap and shopping bags. Check boutique presentation for out of stocks, etc. Oh, whoops! I skipped. I apologize. I skipped a section, guys. I apologize. Sometimes I'm kind of off. So let's do it again. November 14th, McDonald's begins Oliver and Company advertising. All Oliver and Company boutiques must be set up and ready. November 15th, Sears advertising program begins. 16 pages Oliver and Company booklet mails and 20 million Sears charge statements. November 18th, Oliver and Company premieres in over 1,500 theaters nationwide. Well, actually not over 900 theaters for some reason, according to the Box Office Mojo and newspaper sources and other reliable sources. McDonald's stray liners begin. McDonald's 20-day TV blitz begins. November 19th, review free poster giveaway with employees. In-store PA announcements. Check boutique presentation. Now I'm back to the section where I stopped at before. November 23rd, 8 pages Oliver and Company section in National Mailer. Free poster starts today. Check boutique presentation for out of stocks, cleanliness, etc. December 7th, Sears Oliver and Company national TV advertising begins. 2 pages national preprint drops all markets. December 14th, check sell down for Oliver and Company merchandise. December 18th, Oliver and Company, 1-page tab, core service. Sears TV advertisement campaign ends. In-store PA announcements. Oh, I forgot. December 19th, as sell-down continues, consolidate Oliver and Company presentation to maintain an in-stock look. December 22nd, check sell-down. December 23rd, in-store drawing for your sweepstakes winner. In-store PA announcements. December 25th, Christmas, a joy. December 26th, check Saldown. Schedule additional in-store PA as dictated by Saldown. December 27th, continue to consolidate Oliver and Company boutique as Saldown continues. December 28th, final check on Saldown for all departments. December 30th, assuming complete Saldown, dismantle Oliver and Company boutique. Any remaining merchandise returns to specific departments. And last but not least, December 31st, remove all Oliver and Company signing, etc. So that's the promotion and advertising calendar schedule for the promotion of Oliver and Company in 1988 when it originally came out. Okay, here comes the last, very, very last part of the promotional kit, and this is what you have been waiting for. Yes, I'm talking about the poster itself. This is the poster that the promotional people, the people that worked for the promotions of Oliver and Company receive for free with a special Oliver and Company Sears exclusive poster that is extremely large. And no, it's not just the people that are working with the promotions of the movie, but it's also the people that have purchased Oliver and Company products in Sears. Look at that, it's so awesome. Isn't that really cool, guys? It's very large, and it even has a stamp that says Sears Commemorative Edition. Let me do it again. Sears Commemorative Edition Series, November 1988. And I apologize if I mispronounced that, the commemorative thing wrong, because I'm autistic. But this is huge, guys. This is extremely big. And, of course, that is it, guys. That is all of the things that are included in the promotional kit of Oliver and Company. So, yes, this is an extremely rare piece of memorabilia. This is this is actually extremely hard to find, and I cannot believe I got to own this, guys. And I get to reveal all of the information to you guys. So, I really hope you enjoy the overview for that kind of stuff like that, and I really hope you enjoy it. I am going to end the live stream now, so if you want to watch it back again and part 1, you can watch part 1 and part 2 and watch it over and over again. You can do that, but I apologize if I am talking a lot because I wanted to talk. My goal is to make sure I show you the best as possible for this extremely rare collective, this extremely rare collective item, that was supposedly confidential, that's something that is hidden, can be revealed several years later. So I'm just going to close this. Goodbye. And I am so glad that I did this, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch part 1 and part 2 again, you can. And I hope you have a great night, everybody. I will see you later, guys. Goodbye.